Alrighty, hello everybody. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a momentous occasion. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, today is Saturday, December 14th, 2019. I am Darkside Phil, and I welcome you here to my first of two gameplay streams for the day. How's everybody doing? I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you were in a good mood, and I hope that you are ready for some gaming fun, excuse me. Some really retro throwback stuff, man, and I am super psyched and pumped for today. Reason being, today we're going to be playing my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time. A game that I've only played once ever for the internet, and boy was it a different time back when I played this game 7.5 years ago. Actually it was more than 7.5 years ago, for YouTube. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are starting up my playthrough of Final Fantasy VI. How are all of you today? Are you excited for this? I hope you are excited for this. One of my favorite games of all time. A game that's near and dear to my heart. A game that I played and beat many times. Many times over the years. And I really enjoy it. I think it is, story-wise in particular, the best Final Fantasy game there is out there. Some people would disagree, but I actually think it's the best plot, the best character development. In general, the best combat as well, because over time, over the game, the combat gets better, in my opinion. So, Final Fantasy VI, guys, and you may be saying, why on the holy hell is Phil playing Final Fantasy VI today? Like, what is going on that that he's doing this today? He's been doing all new releases recently. We're near the end of the year. That's typically what he does around the end of the year. This is really weird. Well, number one, new releases are drying up. I'm still playing multiple new releases. Don't get me wrong. I'm still playing Shenmue. I'm still playing Pokemon Sword. Okay, Shenmue 3 and Pokemon Sword. But that being said, most of the new releases are over with. And there's maybe one or two left. Like, for example, there's a game called Ancestors that I am interested in. I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to think about it. And yes, there's a few games that I missed out on that maybe at some point I'll go to, like Need for Speed Heat or something like that. But outside of those games, I've pretty much covered the major games of the year, and I've covered the games that I really, really wanted to play badly. All right? And looking at the schedule and basically kind of weighing and balancing my time right now, I realize this is a good time for me to do stuff that I've wanted to do for a while and never got a chance to do, or just never got around to. Reason being, no major new releases really until, I think there's one coming out in January, and then I believe in February, like mid to late February, a few are coming out. But really, when you look at it, excuse me. Really, when you look at it, it looks like there's not a heck of a lot going on, and now would be a great opportunity for me to be able to partake and enjoy in a bunch of games that I've wanted to play for quite some time and haven't gotten to. All right, Final Fantasy VI, I played as a brand new release, okay, back in the day when it was called Final Fantasy III in the United States and released for the Super Nintendo. And I loved it so much. It was such in my opinion, a massive improvement upon the elements and gameplay of Final Fantasy IV, the graphics, the sound, the story, everything. It was a much longer game than Final Fantasy IV. I just really enjoyed the game so much, and it ended up being a game that I went back to year after year after year. Typically, I would play this game at least once a year because I liked it so much. And over the years, there's been many different iterations of Final Fantasy VI/3. Like I said, originally there was Super Nintendo. Then it came out for the PlayStation 1 during a collection. Then I believe it came out for the Game Boy Advance. It also came out for the Nintendo DS. And so many different versions over the years. A lot of people also argue, like, what's the better or definitive version of this game, right? What is the absolute best version of Final Fantasy VI? I'm not sure. I think the original may be the best, but some people would argue the Game Boy Advance version has a ton of extra content on it, like a bunch of post-game dungeons and the like. Sadly, there's no real way to capture from the Game Boy Advance, right? Like, you have to go with what's available and what is viable. And for me, what's viable is to play a version that is readily available. And really, right now, the only version that's readily available is the PlayStation 1 version emulated on PS3. I know that may be disappointing for some people who are maybe looking for a different version. When I first played this game in May of 2012, I played it on the Wii. And the reason that I played it on the Wii was because the Wii had the actual emulated Super NES version of this game on its virtual console. Problem being, the Wii Virtual Console doesn't exist anymore. The Wii Virtual Console slash that Nintendo store is gone. They shut that down years ago. And I don't still have Final Fantasy 3 on my Wii anymore. So there's actually no way for me to get it on the Wii. So really the only possible way for me to play this is the PS1 version. And already we got someone complaining in the stream chat. Trash version. It's the same game. The only difference is it has loading times, right? For what I'm to understand, it actually is exactly the same, except that it does have significant loading times, and a lot of people have issue with that. Fair enough. You know, you have the right to have issue with that if you don't like to wait around for loading. But outside of that, I don't know what else to tell you. That's really the only version that's available. I looked into it. I could not find another version. You know, they never really ported it to modern consoles or anything. So you have to play what's available, right? You have to play 2 generations ago. So that's what we're doing, you know? Does it suck that we have to wait around a little bit for loading? I'm sure it will. But that's better than not playing it at all. I've been craving playing this game for quite a long time. All right? Here's the thing. When I first played this, how many years ago? Geez, 7.5 years ago, right? So that was a long time ago. When I first played it back then, it was a different time. Certainly, it was a different kind of a deal when I did game playthroughs back then. I was doing not even direct capture. I was still having a camera pointed at my television screen, okay? Talk about guerrilla-style filming. That's what I used to do for YouTube. I didn't even have, you know, a capture device or anything. So even though I was playing it on the Wii, the graphical quality leaves something to be desired. Now, the truth of the matter is, this is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. I've played it more than any other Final Fantasy, so I know a lot about the game. And at least back then, at that point, this was a game that I was still actively playing a lot. Like, I would play it every few years, so I was able to remember a lot of the things about the game and implement that into my commentary of the playthrough. And in my opinion, it made the playthrough better because I was adding all kinds of insider commentary and knowledge about the game that otherwise, you know, other playthroughs I usually do cold. So, Jasper just left the office, so I closed the door. Other playthroughs I usually do cold. And therefore, they're not, you know, no way would I be able to have any kind of knowledge or whatever, insider knowledge, or yeah, here's a tip, here's how you do this boss fight, here's a way to do this or that. I didn't have that, or I don't have that for most other games that I play. In this game, it's the exception, right? This game is really different because I played it so much. And again, a game that is near and dear to my heart. But, you know, people said basically, even though the graphical quality was crap, even though the audio back then with my video sounded like crap, they really liked the playthrough because it was one that I was able to really give a lot of insight into and essentially show a lot of tips and things that other people wouldn't even be able to show in their playthroughs. A lot of people really dug it, all right? So, yeah, I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys will, you know, join me for this playthrough because it is going to be a really important one for me, you know? It's actually something that makes me feel nostalgic because, you know, I played this when I was a kid and then I played it again and again and again over the years. The other cool thing about this, all right? Man, excuse me. The other cool thing about this is that, you know, this is years later now, and it's going to be really cool to play this with a live streaming audience. You know, when I used to do the gameplay back, you know, in 2012, it was just me playing games by myself. And I had to constantly try to fill the air with commentary, with jokes. You know, it wasn't just about enjoying the games. It was about basically kind of being almost an improv comedian to the point where, you know, that became the major focus of a lot of my stuff. And a lot of people liked that. But over the years, it kind of got sour. Like, people were like, man, I wish Phil would just play games and stop worrying about the commentary being funny all the time. because he's constantly trying to crack jokes, and it can get tiresome. And I agree with you guys. Over time, it actually got, for me, it got more tiresome to be able to have to always fill dead air with commentary, blah, 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 instead of being able to focus in on the games that I was playing. So I over time, I changed it up. And once I became a full-time live streamer, I realized I don't have to do that anymore. What we can have fun, organic streams where we talk with each other, we hang out, you interact with me and react to the game that I'm playing, and I can give you my, my honest thoughts and opinions on what's going on in the game. It's really different. It's really different than what I used to do, in a very good way. Okay, I don't want to say no bones about it. Like, I really enjoy doing commentary this way more than the way that I used to do it. Okay, so I certainly hope that you guys are gonna like that. JRPGs, quite frankly, can be quite a grind and quite boring if you're just kind of playing them by yourself or if nothing's going on. But if we have a fun interactive stream, I think that this could end up being one of my better playthroughs, for a long time. Simply because, it's a game that I love so much, I know so much about. We're going to be able to interact and talk while we play. It's going to be a good time, It's not just me talking to myself anymore. And I like that, I certainly hope that you guys will give it a shot today. Even if you don't like RPGs, I hope you'll give this stream a shot and see what you think. And if you like it, great. Come back when I play it again, because it is going to be an ongoing playthrough. I'm going to be covering, much like all of my other playthroughs. I'm going to be doing it on a regular basis, balancing it with all the other actual ongoing playthroughs that I'm doing. So I hope you'll give it a look today, and hopefully this is something that is your cup of tea. Okay? So Final Fantasy VI, starting today. Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, I am broadcasting at 720p. You may say, gee, I wonder why. Well, it's very simple, because this is a friggin' old game, right? I don't need to broadcast in 1080p when it's an old pixelated game anyway. And I'm also going to be running at 60 frames per second. At some points, the game does run at 60 frames per second. At least if this is authentic to the SNES version, it should run at 60 frames per second at some points. Some points it will not. It all depends. The overworld probably ain't going to make a big deal, but sometimes in combat and stuff, you'll want to have a higher frame rate. So we'll see how it looks. Hopefully it holds up, and it's a fun playthrough for you guys, and hopefully you guys have a good time. And, good stuff, right? All right, very nice. So, oh, by the way, the game's quite lengthy, too. Unlike older RPGs of the time, this game has a plot that actually kind of resets itself, which is kind of unique. Like, you think the game's ending or over, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get hit with, like, a surprise twist that completely resets stuff. And I really like that about the game. So it should be pretty fun. I hope that you guys are excited for Final Fantasy VI. All right. Good stuff. All right, so that's my first gameplay stream of the day. My second gameplay stream, my late night stream, is going to be the Return of Modern Warfare. I played it a couple weeks now in a row. Quite frankly, the game frustrates the shit out of me. Not because of the core gameplay mechanics, which I actually feel are good, but because the connections online just seem pretty piss poor compared to what you would want from a competitive shooter, basically, the hit detection not being very good, the connections not being very good. But I'm going to give it another shot. I figure if I keep playing it, eventually I may get better at it, and I may get to a point where I actually like it. It's more about, at this point, I think it's more about practicing and getting used to, the foibles of a game that has a little bit of lag. You know what I mean? Instead of kind of giving up. I don't really want to give up right now, especially because so many people are playing the game and telling me that the game is worth playing. So I'm like, oh man, all right, well, I'll keep giving it a go. I'll keep trying. All right. So I'm not quitting yet. I'm gonna give Modern Warfare another go tonight. We'll see how it goes. Certainly I don't want to keep torturing myself if I really end up hating it. But at the same time, I don't want to kind of give up yet. Okay. So another session of Modern Warfare later tonight. I hope that you guys will join me for that. 2 hours of gameplay later tonight, around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow, we swing back to the new releases. So for those who are upset that we're not doing new releases today, don't worry, we're doing them tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow, it's the continuation of Shenmue 3. last stream we got to the city, which was really fun because the city is very different from the countryside. There's a lot more to do. There's more combat. There's more mini games. There's more stuff in general. It's kind of interesting. So, tomorrow we will continue on with that. Okay. More of the city. So that should be fun. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to be finishing up Medieval. For those who've been watching that playthrough, I've been playing Medieval Remake. Which was a PS1 classic. I really enjoyed the game on PS1, and I've really been enjoying replaying the game now in the modern era. It does kind of hold up, even though it does have outdated game mechanics. I do think that the game kind of holds up in a lot of ways. So I hope that you will join me for that tomorrow night for the big conclusion of that. And then Monday, my final chill streaming day of the week, where it's going to be Pokemon Sword, followed by Minecraft. Okay, good stuff there, where that whole day will be pretty chill. The first stream focused on catching and evolving Pokemon. The second stream focused on building a statue of a bird. It should be fun. Alright, so good stuff all around. I'm really excited for all the streams this week. I hope that you are. Tuesday's my day off as usual. And then I'll be back on Wednesday to continue more Final Fantasy VI. Okay, more Final Fantasy VI fun this coming Wednesday, paired with the usual stuff. I think Wednesday night I'm doing PUBG, and then Thursday we'll do Shenmue, and I think I'm pairing that with more throwback SNES, Super Nintendo, and I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'll probably do some of the games I've already started. Friday more Pokemon with throwback Street Fighter, the usual stuff, okay? Now, I want to remind everyone, now is your chance, all right, to nominate games for the upcoming Christmas event. It is your last chance to nominate games for the upcoming Christmas event, okay? I'm only going to have that thread open for roughly, what's today? Today's the 14th, so not even another week. It's actually until the 20th, okay? The 20th of December is when I'm going to close off that thread. It's that thread on the forums, that poll. And I determine what games I'm playing based on your votes. All right? So please, head over to the kingofhate.com forums and please vote up on the games that you want to see during the Christmas event. Absolute last chance to do so. Not even a week left to do so. Okay? My Christmas event is coming up on Sunday, the 22nd of December. It's going to be a marathon-style event where I dress up in festive attire all day long. We're going to be drinking. I'll have some festive holiday beers, maybe some eggnog. Just good stuff, all right? Good stuff going on that day, and I hope you'll join me for it. So, yeah. Also, reminder, this coming Monday, I'm setting up a weekly tips goal because for that 1 week of Monday to Monday, that's my last streaming week before the Christmas holiday, where I'm going to have 2 days off from streaming, which I know is very abnormal for me that I would have 2 days off from streaming. I almost never do it. However, right now, it's my only opportunity to really do so. Christmas Eve would be my normal day off for that week to do errands like grocery shopping, and then I'm going to take Christmas Day off to spend with my wife. So, because I'm taking a couple days off, I just want to forewarn everyone, that I'll be off for 2 days ahead of time, so you're not wondering what the hell happened to me. I'll be back on the day after Christmas, as normal. But I'm going to have a tips goal set up for that week, starting this Monday and going to the next Monday. It's a way for me to try to raise extra funds at the end of the year here. Quite frankly, for taxes, I need to afford my tax attorney's services so that he can file my taxes for the state, and I can pay the taxes for the state, and do stuff like that. So, it's a way for me to hopefully raise funds, a big push, right before Christmas. Hopefully it goes well. So just forewarning everyone that that's coming, all right? All right. So, I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to talk about? I don't think. I'm just trying to, think off the top of my head. Anything else going on that I want to mention or I want to talk about before we move on to the next segment of the stream? I would say not particularly. Not right now. I don't think, I don't think anything else is going on, so. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being here. Hope you are excited for today's Final Fantasy VI premiere stream, and we shall begin shortly once I get through the pre-stream, all right? So let's advance. Let's head into the next segment of the pre-stream, all right? Which is, of course, everyone's favorite segment of the pre-stream, the gratuitous plugs. I'm sure you guys absolutely love being advertised to, right? We all do. Yeah, right. We obviously all hate being advertised to, and I apologize in advance that I have to do it, but being that this is my occupation, you know, it is what it is. It's a necessary evil, as they say, of what I do. So please bear with me while I get through it here, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all of your support. Thank you for the fact that for 11 years I've been able to be a content creator, and on a daily basis I've been able to share my gameplay experiences with all of you. I absolutely love doing what I do for a living. I wouldn't give it up for the world. You know, it's my hobby as well as my job. However, certainly the road has not been a smooth one. There's been many ups and downs along the way. You know, starting off as just doing this as a hobby a few hours a night, eventually making it my job when I got laid off from my full-time office job at one point many years ago. And then, you know, after many years of being a full-time YouTuber, being forced to kind of change that formula up because sadly YouTube fell apart at the seams as a business and basically wouldn't support someone like me who did, you know, long-form raw gameplay videos. Instead, I had to mix things up and change up my formula in order to, you know, keep making ends meet and doing what I do for a living. I had to become a full-time streamer, okay? And then it became more interactive. Instead of just doing kind of offline videos for YouTube, it became more about interacting with you guys, having fun on the streams. And, you know, as I've said many times, I actually feel that my content now is much better than it used to be. That the offline content made sense when I did it, but in the modern era, someone like me doing long-form playthroughs and the like, it's the interaction that has made my content fresh and interesting and new versus just kind of doing the same old, which I was doing for many years there. So I want to say thank you to those of you who've been supporters for a long time and have stuck in there with all the changes and all the things that I've undergone over the years. Like I said, you know, it's been a bumpy road, but it's certainly been a fun ride, and I absolutely love the fact that I'm still here today, all right? That being said, because I am now a full-time streamer, now, you know, I rely mostly on crowdfunding, mostly you guys contributing during the live streams to make ends meet and to keep stuff going around here, all right? It's not like the old days where it used to be people would watch videos on YouTube and the ad revenue was enough to pay the bills and do everything. It's not. It's the complete opposite. YouTube I get almost nothing from, okay? Because YouTube's changed so much over the years. So, if you guys appreciate the fact that I'm here 6 days a week full-time streaming for you, okay? If you guys like the fact that I still upload my archived streams over to DSPGaming on YouTube, despite the fact that, quite frankly, I get almost nothing out of it, because YouTube has kind of fallen apart at the seams, as I said, as a business. And if you still, you know, want to see me do all this, please consider contributing via one of the following methods that I'm about to outline on the stream. All right? However, I must say this up front, okay? Please understand that even though it is your crowdfunding contributions that keep stuff going around here, all right, it is not mandatory that you contribute, nor is it expected. All right, I consider it going above and beyond if you guys contribute in any way, shape, or form. I'm perfectly happy to just have you guys come by and hang out with me on stream on a daily basis. You know, chill with me, enjoy games at face value, see my honest reactions to whatever games I'm playing, interact with me a little bit, interact with the other stream chatters. You know, that's what it's all about. Although I do this for a living, at the same time, it's not about the money. You know, I did this for 2.5 years on YouTube. I made these gameplay videos before you could even monetize them on YouTube, quite frankly. You know, because I love gaming. It's my lifelong hobby. It's something that I want to share with you guys as much as I can. And I would keep doing it even if I couldn't make money doing it, you know. So thank you for all of your support over the years. Thanks for understanding. And just thanks in general, all right? So now, let's go ahead and let's outline a few of the ways that you can contribute if you so choose to do so, okay? Alrighty. So first of all, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. This is a monthly pledge campaign that you can join. If you do pledge to my Patreon, you earn personal perks depending on how much you pledge. All the information is actually right there on the website, so I'm not going to go into massive detail about it. I'm just going to say, please give it a look. And thanks to anyone who is a current patron of mine. It is much appreciated, any of that support, okay? You can check out my Teespring store at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. And that is my online merch shop where you can buy some cool themed stuff like sweatshirts, t-shirts, mugs, stickers, etc. Right now, it's, the holidays are in full effect, and I'm sure many of you are, interested in maybe getting something for yourself or for another fan of mine or something, right? So please give it a look. Thanks to anyone, again, who buys anything. Just a reminder, because the holidays are right around the corner, you may actually want to order sooner rather than later. It may behoove you to order sooner rather than later, considering that Christmas is coming up and you need to get stuff delivered in time, right? With only about a week to go, you probably want to get on that. All right? Alrighty. But in general, if you are watching right now on the live stream and you want to get recognized for your contributions, all right, there's many ways that you could do so, that you could contribute and maybe get a shout out during the stream, all right? If you either cheer with bits, or you subscribe to the channel, or you tip me, any of those three things, I'm going to give you a live shout out during the stream for it, okay? And I appreciate all those contributions very much. I have a leaderboard at the top of the screen that I'm trying to center right now that includes things such as top tipper and top cheerer of the day. All right. And I update that periodically during the day. In addition, there's a leaderboard that's ingrained into Twitch. All right. That leaderboard is the leaderboard that tracks things such as the top cheerers of the week, as well as how many people gifted subs this week. So many opportunities to get recognized for your contributions here on my live streams. All right. Now, in addition to all of that, you may be wondering, well, you just mentioned a bunch of stuff, Phil, right? I mentioned a million ways to contribute. How am I supposed to know what's the better way to contribute? Like, how, matter-of-factly, what should I do if I want to help out the most? It's a good question, and the answer is quite simple. The best way that you can help me is by tipping me, all right? By tipping me, those are funds that I get immediately, and then I can put towards whatever I wish to put them towards. Anything else that I just mentioned is still great. Don't get me wrong. Cheering, subbing, Teespring, Patreon, all help in a lot of ways. However, all those things have a processing time, meaning that there is a big delay between when you'll contribute and when I actually get something out of it. All right. While tipping, I get it right away. I can put it towards bills. I can put it towards the cost of games. I can put it towards things at the end of the year like taxes. I could do all these things immediately. All right. So thanks to anyone who contributes, and thank you in particular if you do tip me. Tipping is helping me right now more than anything else. And so I just want to say thanks to anyone who does tip me. Okay? Fair enough? Alrighty then. So, there you go. Now, a couple of things to know about tipping. First of all, if you're going to tip me, all right, how do you do it? If you look below the stream, there's a tips jar button below the stream that you can click on. All right, and that will bring you right to my PayPal tips page. If you don't see that, you can actually type ! Tip into the stream chat. That will also bring up a link to do the very same thing. Okay, quite frankly. So yeah, please give it a look, especially if you want to contribute. Thank you. Now, in addition to that, a few things that you should know about tipping. The first is that you do not need a PayPal account in order to tip me. A lot of people think, I need a PayPal account linked to a bank account. No, that's not the case. You can actually either use a debit or credit card to send me a tip, much like any other payment you would make on the internet, okay? However, it may not be the most easy thing to figure out or the most apparent thing, and the reason I say that is because, sadly, it's not usually listed there on the page if you're on a mobile device. So if you're on your phone, let me check out Phil's PayPal page. All it says is you need a PayPal account, right? I found out that if you actually look at this page on a desktop computer, usually it will actually show the option to contribute via credit card, like, Visa, MasterCard, etc. All the various credit card methods. So if that's an issue for you, please consider checking it out on the desktop computer. It'll make it a lot easier for you, okay? Let's see here. Okay, Another thing, and this is something that's very important, and I do like to reiterate this, or not reiterate this, but to say this to all of my viewers every day, because I care about you guys. I want to make sure that you're safe on the internet, and that, you know, things like your identity don't get compromised, all right? Sadly, there's a group of people out there who really don't have much positive stuff going on in their lives, and what they like to do is try to hurt people on the internet if they can. So you got to be careful about what information you put out there publicly. So in particular, if you're going to contribute to any streamer, all right, be very, very careful about what information you're putting out on the internet. And the reason that I say that is because there's been some cases where people contribute on a stream, they'll tip, or they'll cheer, they'll use their real name, or they'll use a name that's very close to or the same as their social media account, which then has a bunch of public information linked to it, okay? Sadly, what people will tend to do is if they can get information, they will, and they'll use it to hurt you just because they can. And I say, well, I don't know. Who am I? Why would they care about that? It doesn't matter. They do it because they're miserable people, and they think that they have some kind of power over someone by messing with them, and that's why they do it. It's not because there's some, you know, innate purpose to it. They're not getting at me by doing it. Well, how does that affect me? It doesn't, right? So all I want to say is please be careful. If you're going to contribute today, in particular, if you're going to tip me, consider either being anonymous, which you could use the name anonymous, or making up a name completely. You know, consider doing that, and that way your information will not be publicly exposed to the internet, and you won't have to worry about, you know, that kind of risk, okay? So, you know, please protect yourselves, all right? I had to take care of a stupid idiot troll in the stream chat, which everyone's laughing at, and they're like, yeah, okay, thanks for the spam message, moron. Okay, continuing on, everybody. Let's see here. So, that's that. What I'd like to do now is talk about the rules of the stream, all right? Because I actually have a few sets of rules that I have as guidelines on my streams. The first is obviously that I have to follow all the rules and regulations of Twitch.tv, because I am indeed a streamer on Twitch.tv. It is a business, and therefore I have to abide by all the things that they've laid out. I can't just say and do whatever I want on my stream. So please understand that, guys. I have to abide by all the rules, and that's why, you know, I act the way I do on stream. In addition, I have my own set of rules that I kind of feel that by following this set of guidelines, that I can maintain a certain kind of chill stream that allows me to have a relaxing and good time, and we can all have fun together and basically avoid drama. But the way I look at it is this: when I live stream, I want to have a good time. I want it to be an opportunity for us to relax. I want you to be able to escape all the stresses of your real life, right? You're not coming to a stream to be inundated with drama and toxicity and all kinds of nastiness. You're probably coming here to escape that kind of crap in your real life, forget about your own worries, and just have a good time on a gameplay stream, right? So, that's why on my streams, I maintain a certain chill vibe, and I try to make it so that we can really enjoy ourselves by kind of how can I put it? Avoiding certain topics and making sure that the stream doesn't get derailed in certain ways, all right? So allow me to explain the ways that I'm talking about, all right? First of all, there are two topics that in general I have found over the years as a content creator cause a lot of people to get very upset at each other, all right? These topics are things that are hotbeds of discussion in real life, and quite frankly, I don't see how they fit in whatsoever with my gameplay stream, so I don't see why we have to talk about them. These topics that I'm mentioning in particular are politics and religion, all right? Not to say that they're not important, but I don't necessarily see how politics and religion fits in with anything that I'm doing on my streams. You see what I mean? Usually, when politics or religion become involved, they're topics that people get really angry about if you don't agree with them on it. It's very hard for certain kinds of people to see from another perspective on these topics, and because of that, I don't see why these need to be topics that need to be discussed in my gameplay streams. You know what I mean? What in the hell does that have to do with Final Fantasy V? Or excuse me, Final Fantasy VI? Nothing, right? So why are we bringing it up? So please refrain from said topics. I don't feel that they have any place in my streams, okay? Now, if I'm playing a game that happens to have politics or religion as an actual topic of discussion in it, and we bring it up as a part of discussion on the stream because it's pertinent to what's going on in the game, that's a completely different scenario, okay? And I'm okay with it then. You know, actually, the truth of the matter is, with Final Fantasy VI, there's actually political stuff in it. Yeah, there's actually politics in Final Fantasy VI. It's about governments. It's about overthrowing governments. There's rebels and stuff. You know, that's okay. We want to talk about that? That's different. As long as it's on topic to what we're doing. But sadly, what ends up happening is people will derail the stream with these other topics. Yeah, I'll be playing a game and then look down and people are talking about Brexit. And they're talking about the Trump impeachment. And they're talking about this and that. Like, wait a minute. I'm playing a game. No one's reacting to me. No one's talking with me. Instead, people got so angry and derailed talking about these political topics. They've completely, you know, sidetracked the stream. And that's the opposite of what I want. Okay? So please understand that. And please respect that. Please know that, you know, it's not allowed. And I want to keep that off my streams. Okay? Obishos says Final Fantasy VI has teen pregnancies. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it doesn't have that much of a controversial topic in the game. But, you know. Okay, anyway. So, that's number one. Number two, ladies and gentlemen, I am well aware that there is a group of people out there on the internet that on a daily basis steal my content, slander me, and in general, just try to make me miserable. Why do they do this? Why are they making fun of me? Why are they messing with me on a daily basis? Well, essentially because they found out that by doing so gets them popularity on the internet, namely on YouTube. Their videos get views and clicks if they have drama content full of garbage, okay? And YouTube promotes this kind of content. It allows people to create nasty stuff about others with little to no repercussions. Now, you may have heard that recently YouTube is claiming that they have changed the way that they are going to enforce issues like this, and that they're actually going to take it seriously, that if there's bullying style content, slander, defamation, they're actually going to do something about it. Now, color me skeptical, and the reason I say that is because YouTube has never taken a stance on this content. YouTube has always said, oh, if you have an issue with defamation, you have to sue the person doing it. To which I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Listen, I'm a positive guy. I'm a positive content creator. What I want to do is put out fun gameplay streams for you guys every day. I don't want to care about having to sue people. It's so ludicrous. Someone's illegally stealing your content and slandering you and making you look bad. Sue them. Like, what? You're the website in the business that's illegally hosting this content. You're the one allowing crime to happen, but now you want me to sue someone to get rid of it instead of you just taking it down by using your fucking head. But that's always been YouTube's take. Now, apparently YouTube is changing. People are saying that YouTube now is being different about this kind of content, and that they are actually starting to take down content that seems to be negative and bullying, etc. I'm not going to have a part of that, but hey, if people get reported for it or whatever, I can't help it. You know, I'm not going to be a part of that process. Like I said, I just care about playing games. So it is what it is. But the reason I'm bringing all this up is because sometimes people will come on my stream and be like, oh, Phil, are you aware that this guy's illegally rebroadcasting you? Are you aware this guy said this about you, and this guy is trying to dox one of your fans who, you know, contributed with a tip today, and this guy's doing that? Listen, I know it exists. We all know it exists. There's no reason to bring it up, because what happens is when you do that, you're essentially giving those people exactly what they want, which is attention. What they're trying to do through those actions, they're trying to get attention to themselves and their content, and they're basically just trying to make it so that you will get distracted from my stream and give them attention instead. That in turn gives them money, because they're able to monetize that crap content on YouTube, because YouTube is that screwed up that they would actually monetize disgusting illegal defamation content. They don't do that on Twitch. FYI, on Twitch, they just ban your ass. You tell someone that someone's doing that, they'll look into it, they immediately ban that account, and that's the end of that. But over on YouTube, they do whatever they want. So, I know it happens. It's a shame it does. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to go sue someone. I'm certainly not going to go on a reporting spree. I've got content to make. I don't care about that crap. All right? So, please understand that bringing it up is counterproductive. What you're actually doing is giving attention to negative people and giving them exactly what they want. The attention and everything that they want. And you obviously don't want to do that. So, please don't do that. All right? Please don't bring it up. And I appreciate anyone who abides by these rules. Okay? All right, guys. it's time. It is now time for us to go to the shout-out segment. This is a segment here on my streams where I can say thank you to those who've contributed. I answer questions. It's the final segment of the pre-stream before we get started with the actual gameplay. All right? So, let's get started, shall we? So, first of all, let's say thank you to those who've contributed before the stream even started, those who contributed overnight. We had a couple people here. We actually had Golden Colts, who did a 100-bit cheer overnight. Thank you for that. Why Can't We Be Friends did a 50-bit cheer trying to stir up drama. All right? He's very silly. He says, looking back all these years later, do you still dislike reviewers like Mitch Dyer? I know you had beef with him. Is that still the case? Listen, I don't think about Mitch Dyer, ever. Unless you bring him up, I don't even remember the guy fucking exists. That was a name from my early days on YouTube. He was a reviewer who was an independent reviewer. He wasn't actually hired by anyone. He was one of these indie guys who would do one-off articles on websites. And I remember he wrote a few really terrible fucking reviews, one of which for Double Dragon Neon, and another one I can't even remember. Then during the coverage, the launch coverage of Xbox One, he completely botched an article and wrote an article for a major gaming website that had complete misinformation about Killer Instinct as a launch title for Xbox One. He had it that every character was going to be an individual DLC you had to pay for. It was completely false. He made it up. He didn't have full information. He released the whole article based on hearsay. Then they had to retract the article because he was an idiot. So that's all I remember about Mitch Dyer. Like, I just remember that I basically criticized him very strongly in videos, and then people messaged him on Twitter about it, and he tweeted at me, and I tweeted at him basically saying he's an irresponsible idiot, okay? Years later, he gets hired full-time by IGN. This guy who has a track record of doing terrible reviews and being irresponsible gets hired by IGN, okay? Now, I have absolutely no idea if this guy still has a job or not. I don't care. This was years and years and years ago. I don't think about this crap. Someone like Why Can't We Be Friends will bring shit up like this on a stream to try to bring up like memories of drama of the past. I don't give a fuck about Mitch Dyer. I don't care if he's the head of IGN, and I don't care if he's flipping burgers. Mitch Dyer is not a blip on my fucking radar in life. I don't give a shit about the guy anymore. So I don't care. And, you know, there's no point in even bringing it up. I don't even understand what the point of the tweet was besides to try to stir up drama. And I'm not biting. So who cares? Thank you to BattleDuck9000 who resubscribed for 35 months. Thank you very much for almost 3 years of support. Ongoing support, I should say, as an ongoing sub. Then B-Boy Cyclone did subscribe for 36 months, which actually is 3 years of support. It seems like a lot of people are coming up on their 3-year anniversary. Reason being, it was just about 3 years ago now that I returned to Twitch after streaming off of Twitch for almost 2 years. You know, when I first started streaming in 2013, I streamed on Twitch, I think, for about a year and a half. Then I left Twitch for a while because Twitch basically was limiting me to stream at a very low bit rate that made my content look like shit. So I streamed on YouTube for a couple of years until I finally heard that Twitch raised the bit rate over here. I came back, and the rest is history. I absolutely love streaming on Twitch now, much more than I ever did on YouTube. There's just so many more positive things here on Twitch to streaming than there are on YouTube, and I'm very happy that I'm back on Twitch, quite frankly. So, all that being said, thank you guys for all of your support, and also, wow, as Gabriel K.O. also resubscribed for 34 months. So yeah, there's those 3 guys, 35, 36, and 34 months. They almost have subbed right there at the beginning of my return to Twitch. Thank you guys for all of your ongoing support. Very much appreciated. Okay? Galactic Reptile has subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much, Galactic Reptile, for the subscription. I appreciate that. Guitar Player Cheered. He says, they did announce a new Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice game for the new Xbox. You're absolutely right. They did, didn't they? Yeah, they did announce that. And am I super duper crazy excited for it? No. But I do like it. I did like the original game, if you remember. I think I like the original game more than a lot of people who were playing, or not playing, but watching it. A lot of people were very critical of the game, saying that it wasn't very good. I disagreed. I actually thought that it was a good game. The combat left something to be desired. It was pretty basic. But but I actually thought some of the environments and some of the puzzles were quite fun. And the graphics were, like, really well done, especially for the fact that this was, at the time, it was an indie studio. Keep in mind that they were then bought out. Was it Microsoft that bought them? I forget who bought them. Someone bought them out. But at the time, they were an indie studio. So now they're making a sequel. That's cool, I guess. You know, I don't know how they're going to make a sequel to that, considering the whole game was supposed to be about, you know, mental illness and how this woman basically was seeing a ton of shit that wasn't really there. Very hard to even tell what was real and what wasn't. Quite frankly, the entire game could have been inside of her head for all we know, right? But it was still a good game. So, yeah, that's cool. And I don't know when the sequel's coming out, but it sounds good to me. Then Guitar Player did a 1,050-bit cheer to become the top contributor of today. Let's go ahead and get him up on the leaderboard here. Holy crap, thank you, man. That's a good great, oh man. No, it was not 91,000. Holy shit. It was 1,000. I can't type today. 1,050. There we go. 1,050. Thank you, Guitar Player, for the 1,050-bit cheer. And he says, I'm going on a trip to Chicago in a couple of weeks. Do you have any tips or suggestions as to what I should do? There's a lot of stuff to do in Chicago. If you're in the heavy city portion, there's a lot of things. Like it used to be called the Sears Tower, and then they changed. I think it's Willis Tower now. That's pretty fun to go up the tower and see the view of the city from one of the highest points. Strongly recommend that you try out some of the local cuisine. You know, deep dish pizza is pretty local to Chicago, and you can get it at a few different places. A chain you can get it at that's cheaper. You can actually get it at like a high-end restaurant. It's way more expensive. I definitely recommend deep dish pizza. It's so different from regular pizza, I should say, that you're gonna probably be like, wow. Even if you don't like it, it's like an oddity. You're like, holy shit. Steaks as well. There's a lot of good steak houses in Chicago, although they can be pretty pricey. So you might want to check that out if you're a steak lover. There's a downtown area in Chicago that has a lot of high-end shopping, if you're interested in that. There's also a lot of scenery and sightseeing. There's a ginormous park in Chicago where not only is there like a beautiful outdoor area, but there's also a bunch of gardens and stuff that you can visit. Of course, keep in mind, you're going in the winter, so I don't know if they're going to have any of that. You know, during the summertime, they have big, beautiful gardens and everything outside, so I don't really know what's there per se in the winter. You know, you got things like the Bean, the weird sculpture you can see. They get in the summer, they got the fountains that are spraying. Of course, they're probably not going to have that in the winter. You see what I mean? So depending on when you go, that's probably different. But it's a good time. Like, I've been to Chicago twice, and both times that I went there, I had a lot of fun. So it's a pretty good place. I would say look up touristy areas. And by the way, be very careful where you go, because there are areas that are not so safe. All right. If you just go in the main city areas and the touristy areas, you're fine. But if you actually head into what's considered the inner city / you know what I mean, those areas of every major city that are kind of seedy, there's a lot of crime in Chicago, and that's not where you want to go. You know, you want to be very careful about that. You don't want to make the wrong turn and be like, oh my God, where the hell am I? What is going on? Probably not the best idea. All right. But anyway, Chicago, a fun place. The few times that I've been there, I really enjoyed it. Okay. Xbox Series X. Yes, that's right. That's actually the name of the upcoming new Xbox console, the Xbox Series X. Tip me $1 and says, can you explain to me what a mortgage is? I watched one of your vlogs where you said that you cannot sell your condo because you owe more on a mortgage. Speaking of which, are there any updates to the condo? Listen, you're not going to fool me into talking about drama about this crap. If I have any information that I ever want to reveal about anything, I will. If I don't, I don't. If you've noticed, I haven't mentioned a lot of stuff behind the scenes at all because it has nothing to do with my streams and you guys don't need to know about it. So, no, I'm not taking the bait. And I'm not going to start talking about that crap and derail my stream and talk about it on pre-stream. It's nobody's business. If I have information on stuff, eventually I'll let you guys know. But right now, I don't have to talk about any of that, and I don't want to talk about that stuff. Okay? So thank you for the $1 tip, Xbox Series X, but no, that's not what this stream is about. We're not going to start talking about that crap. And by the way, it's pretty obvious you know what a mortgage is if you're asking me about a condo and stuff like that. So, no, I'm not going to go into discussions of what a mortgage is on a gameplay stream. Sorry. Okay. Continuing on. Snake Eater 1247 has done a 50-bit cheer. What is going on, Snake Eater? It's good to see you. Welcome to another different kind of stream. Snake Eater this week has attended a lot of streams and contributed to a lot. And basically every stream he's been has been a completely different kind of stream. I don't think he's been to the same kind of stream twice. Now you're starting to see what kind of a variety streamer I am with the large amount of variety that I put into my content. Today doing a JRPG from the 1990s, right, that I grew up with. It's my favorite JRPG of all time. This is going to be a good stream. So, good stuff. Good to see ya. 2Bar King did a 500-bit cheer. Thank you, 2Bar King, for the 500-bit cheer. I appreciate that. Enigma Double X 73C. Holy moly. He cheers says, why do you over-dramatize people's questions so much? I don't over-dramatize people's questions. Over-dramatize. I think, actually, isn't the word dramaticize? Like, this is a dramatific... I don't even know. I don't even know the proper word, but I'm pretty sure I don't do that. I'm pretty sure I read what they say, and then I respond. Nolbert87 has resubscribed for 26 months. What is going on, Nolbert? It's good to see you on the stream. Thank you very much for the ongoing sub support. I appreciate that. Rob, what's going on, Rob? Well, a lot of regulars coming by today to see Final Fantasy VI. This is awesome. Rob took me $3. He says, hope you're doing okay, brother. Indeed, I am. I'm very excited to start up Final Fantasy VI today, although, quite frankly, the beginning of the game is, a lot of story, a lot of, kind of setting the scene for things that will happen in the rest of the game. But there is a lot of gameplay, too. It kind of introduces the early gameplay mechanics fairly early on. So, good stuff. Thank you very much for the $3 tip, Rob. I hope you're doing well. I hope that you're ready for some fun with one of my favorite games of all time here today on the stream. Okay? Makosa says, people claim part of your pre-stream is pre-recorded. Do you really do this every day? How could it be pre-recorded? I'm responding to you guys live every day. I'm responding to you live every day. How could it possibly be pre-recorded? All right. Big reveal, guys. This is pre-recorded, but what it is I have a time machine, and I fast forward to the future. I record the pre-stream. Then I go back in time, and I press play, and play the pre-stream, so it sounds like I'm reacting live to what you're saying, but in reality, I'm sipping a Mai Tai on the other side of my house. That's the truth of the matter. What the hell are you talking about? Okay. So anyway, continuing on, what I'd like to do is say thank you to the top cheerers of the week via the cheering leaderboard here integrated into Twitch. In 10th place this week, we've got Golden Colts. Surprising, because usually Golden Colts is one of the top cheers, but in particular, cheers have been really generous this week, so thank you guys for that. We have a tie in 8th place between Big D's and Onion Knights 91. In 7th place, it's Rock the Ice 24. 6th place goes to Guitar Player 1939. 5th place goes to Mr. Papavera. 4th place is Tom Van Woistwinkle. Hoi. 3rd place goes to Snake Eater 1247. Delancius is in 2nd place, and 2Bar King has now taken the top cheering spot of the week with that cheer earlier, so thank you very much, 2Bar King. In addition to that, I must give a shout out to the top sub gifters of the week. We've got Rumpelstiltskins and D-Train12, who each gifted 1 sub each. We've got Kate, who gifted 2 subs this week, and then we've actually got Internet Favorite McCroy. Or, excuse me, Internet Famous McCroy, who did 3 gifted subs this week is what I meant to say. Okay. Okay. Very nice. All right, continuing on. Alfred Aponte tipped me $1 and says, hey, Phil, I hope you're good. We're excited to see the Final Fantasy VI playthrough. Thank God you're a variety streamer. That's what I love. Well, thank you, Alfred, for the ongoing support. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thanks for the compliment. I love being a variety streamer. I've said it many, many times, especially when people ask me, Phil, are you going to go back to being a competitive Street Fighter player? And my answer is always no. Do you understand the amount of time and hard work and effort and dedication and, quite frankly, sacrifice has to go into being a competitive player in any kind of a game? I would have to give up being a variety streamer. I wouldn't be able to play a wide variety of games and have fun and do different kinds of streams every day. It'd be the same thing all day, every day. Practice, practice, practice. I don't want to do that. Even as much as I like Street Fighter, I wouldn't want to do that. Even the times when I was a highly competitive player in Street Fighter, I would purposely take time away to refresh myself. I actually found that I would get burned out and end up not liking what I was doing. If I took a couple weeks off and then came back, I'd become refreshed and want to play it more. So that's kind of the attitude that I have with my streams, is if I do something different every day on stream, I never get burnt out. I get fun. I actually crave coming back to a game I haven't played in 2-3 days, because it's been 2-3 days, right? And it works out. Seriously, it works out very well. So thank you very much, Alfred, for the $1 tip. Cultured Warrior did a 100-bit cheer. Oh, he says, oh, can you debunk the newest detractor meme that when you first left Twitch, you swore you would never, ever come back? Yeah, I remember when I left Twitch in, I want to say it was late 2015, when I was very upset because it might have been late 2014. Actually, I take it back. It was late 2014. I remember particularly now. Because I was streaming, and basically one of the moderators of Twitch came into my stream and yelled at me and was like, you got to lower your bitrate because you're too high. And I was like, well, if you take a look at my bitrate as I'm streaming now, you can see the game is pixelated. If you make me lower my bitrate, this game will look awful. You know, why would you do that? And he goes, I don't care. That's the rules. So, okay, fine. And I left. And I said, if that's how they're going to operate, especially because back then, things were a lot different than they are now. And there were some top streamers who were basically given leeway to do whatever the hell they wanted. They could stream at a higher bit rate, and they had these insane 1080p 60 frames per second streams, but I'm not allowed to stream at a certain bit rate, right? It's not fair. So at that point, I said, I'm out of here. And I went to YouTube for a couple of years. I think it was late 2014 into late 2016. Roughly 2 years I streamed on YouTube. The good thing about YouTube is that they do not restrict you at all. They allow you to stream at whatever bitrate you so desire. The bad thing about YouTube is back then, it was a cesspool. The stream chat was absolutely terrible. It was not moddable at all. So anyone could do whatever they wanted. It was completely uncontrollable. There were no features like there were on Twitch. You know, like Twitch over the years added nice features like cheering and subbing and stuff. None of that was available at the time on YouTube. So essentially what I did, I cut the YouTube portion out of the YouTube streams. I would still live stream, but when I was live streaming, I would use my own chat. I had my own integrated MIRC chat room and stuff that would pop up that you could chat in. Quite frankly, it was primitive, and a lot of people didn't like it. I did it for about 2 years, and then, by the way, this was back before YouTube fell apart, and I was still able to make a living getting ad revenue just on the videos on YouTube, okay? It was before then, so even though I didn't have any revenue from streaming, I was still able to make ends meet and whatever. Then things changed, and I was like, well, if I'm going to get serious about this, and trying to find a way to get myself off of YouTube and not being dependent on YouTube as much anymore, I got to make changes. And what happened was I found out that Twitch made a major change and said now everyone can stream at a higher bitrate. That was literally the one major problem that I had with Twitch. So I came back to Twitch and streamed at a higher bitrate, and I've been there ever since, 3 years now, And, certainly I've had my ups and downs. I've had issues where I've been moderated and the like, and, I understand the rules and I follow them now and everything's good. That's the full story. Did I swear that I would never come back to Twitch? I have no idea. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I have no clue. I don't remember exactly what I said in 2014, 5 years ago. Again, people think that, what I say is absolute and I remember everything and that it means that because I say one thing 5 years ago, that it means forever, right? It stands forever. Things could never change. That's ludicrous. That's the mindset of a small child. So, I'm not a small child. Maybe you are. Super Bat Cat to me $5.50. Thank you very much, Super Bat Cat, for the large tip. And you are the top tipper of the day. So we're going to get you up on the leaderboard. Thank you for that. And at the same time, Fat Mr. Bo also tipped me $4. And says, nice to see you in good spirits today. Next time you use the time machine, give me the lotto numbers. All right. Well, thank you very much, Fat Mr. Bo, for the $4 tip. I appreciate that. Add that to the total tips for the day. And Enigma X73C Cheers says, you make voices based on if you like the questions. You're right, I do. Because some of these questions are ludicrous, like, can you debunk the newest detractor meme? Well, let's see. It's against the rules to talk about detractors. You do it anyway. They're trying to get a rise out of me. They're not going to get a rise out of me. I'm not going to play that game. You know what I mean? I can use mannerisms and say things with inflection whenever I feel like it because it's my stream. That's the awesome part about being a live streamer is that you control your own content. You're not at the whim of someone else. You're not putting out a product that you're being dictated to by a boss. You can actually do whatever you want. So guess what? If people say stupid shit on my stream, I'll read it like it's stupid shit. Very matter-of-factly. All right? So thank you, Enigma, for the cheer. Hope you understand now. Okay, I guess that's going to be it, guys. What we're going to do is take a very brief break. I'm going to use the restroom, and then we're going to come back and begin with my Final Fantasy VI playthrough. I hope you guys are excited. I certainly am. You know, to finally be able to play this game for you guys live, which I never did before. I don't know if the PlayStation version is going to have issues. I guess we're going to find out, but it should be fun. All right, give me just a couple minutes. I'll be right back with the premiere of Final Fantasy VI. Thank you, guys, and see you in a moment.